December the 12th, 2016. I'm Dana, your host, the nuclear proctologist.org. And you can find these videos and smoke all over the world. Some days not. Let's try that again. I kind of smurfed it up, did I? Okay, here we go. Off to a rough beginning. As usual, it always takes us a couple of minutes to get up to pop speed and rock and rollin' time. Hello, everybody. Good morning, everybody. We got an interesting show by far for everybody today. We're going to force you to question reality in a whole different way. Good morning, everybody. Elaine, Thirst, Biddy, Joris. Hi, Ellie. Good morning, everyone. Hugs for everybody. I'm your author, Illusion, Neil. I'm just skimming names, folks. My apologies. I'm not going to get everybody. Maybe I will. Let's rock it. So I think everybody's in for quite a treat today. You're in a quite treat every day. And every day is today. What you're looking at is part of a deception. Do you realize now, all of a sudden, that picture is actually that picture there, and it's just Dina repeating yourself over and over and over to make a little point, to get a little rock and roll happening. Let me show you how that works. So let's do that. Play that again. Okay. And so I'm going to take Big Dana, shrink him, see him, watch him shrink. Pay attention. Hang on. We'll find a spot for him in a second. I didn't double click. And make him a little bit bigger. And we'll just pop them right there. And so when you zoom in, and there's other ways to do that. Now in this particular case, he's elevated. Fukushima live stream starts in about 20 minutes. We're gonna have a fun day today for 30 minutes. Where the hell did that come from? Link is... Oh, that's the wrong clip. I clipped that. Haha. Okay. So I can just adjust him, put him anywhere. But then when I zoom back, and what I do is I record it now, and then I can zoom in anytime I want. So I can just keep moving them into different places. I can expand them, make them tiny, and put them way far over there. You'll never know the difference when you're watching the video, yeah? And so that's all I done was, but it's that easy to manipulate people who don't know how this works. The same applies for that. We can have the homeless and the destitute having a campfire. It's really that easy. You know, you can think about, because this is a bad camera and a bad green screen and bad lighting. And does it make a difference, though, if there was that many people on the expeditions, on the Fukushima expeditions? Does it matter if it was just one person? And two people would not find anything different than what I found. And three people are not going to find anything any different. 4 people, it's irrelevant. 5 people, it doesn't matter. You're not going to find what is on your left-hand side because it's missing. And the fact that I posted 2,000 pictures is way better than a handful of people walking around. I know that sounds incredibly hard to believe. Even if you fill the beach up, it would be irrelevant in the context that you're not going to find that life. It doesn't exist anymore. It's never coming back. And I didn't do it. It was Japan's melter reactors. Pictures on the right hand are what I took. But you got to understand that I done the whole coastline in increments over 260 days. All those arrows are just representations where I spend a week or 2 or 3. And every day taking 1,000 or 2,000 pictures and publishing it up at the nuclearproctologist.org to show beyond that all academics now could look at it and say, okay, that life is missing. That is just the way it is. And we need to deal with it instead of attacking me and demonize me and vilifying me because I didn't go up there with a whole bunch of academics that wouldn't have found anything different. It would have been in the way. It would have been sissies because of the adverse conditions we were in. See, Fukushima is an extinction event. Now, if I had high quality, and I will soon, we ordered 6 lights. Let's bring me back for a second. We ordered 6 lights of the Loom Cube. We ordered 6 of them. 6. Somebody say 6. We ordered 6 and a couple of green screens this morning. And so what's missing now is a high quality camera. So I'll start pushing hard for that. And we're already, because I'm buying extra cameras, we're about $700 or so up. I'll know the tally tomorrow. So this high quality camera that we got picked out, brand new is $1,800, but it's 4K. And so 4K will allow me to put, say, where's a better idea? So I can put 7,000 people on this site, and they're all me. And I won't lose the quality per se. But because the camera I got is such low quality, and I'll just give you a demonstration of it. This video coming up, maybe, sometimes. And just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times I dubbed it. In a couple of seconds, I'm going to take my helmet off. And you'll see how bad, because my camera's shitty, after 6 tries. Now have a look at my head and see the degradation of just 6 copies of a low quality. Fukushima live stream starts in about 20 minutes. And I dubbed the audio in my voice because it was horrible, but that won't matter because that's the way you would do it anyway. And so 6 times, you can barely make out it's me. And then a high quality one will be stunning because I can handle 4,000K cameras with the equipment I got. And you can see how I can manipulate and tell us, not manipulate, but tell a story. No matter what the story is, I can bring that story to life. Just dress in the costumes, play the part, shoot the video. Not the dorky stuff like The Weeknd. But how I can really take a short story and bring it to life with just a picture and myself and the green screen, proper lightings. They're coming. So we're extremely grateful that we're even that far along. Never say but a music. I'll turn it down a little tiny bit. And so the whole idea is to tell that story in a completely unique way, in a highly visible way. And we can do that. And so I can have dead workers lying down on the ground, rolling around in agony. For instance, I can have these workers with the big green screen. When it shows up, I'll be able to have them walking up and getting in line. They're like really weird stuff, yeah? Totally unique stuff. like really, you have 'em- right now I can fight with each other, but I kind of keep my feet where they are. I can move them up and down a little bit, but I'm so limited. So I'm so grateful to finally have that equipment. So the big thing will be the camera. When I finally get the camera, I'm going to take it to a whole new level. And let's come back over. Fukushima. We got the puffins. Let me kill the audio on that. Puffins they found 250, and now they declared an extinction event for the puffins. Half of them are probably dead, they said. Sorry. Half of them are probably dead, according to the media. And having a hard time with everything. No audio that time. And here we go. Let's try this out. So 250 are found. They usually only find like 6 in a decade. But we've seen the same thing with starfish, then the urchins, which are the same family, because 200 miles of the coastline showed they were missing. Well, how come when I show the whole coastline is missing 5,600 highly visible species, how come that doesn't resonate, but 200 kilometers is an extinction event when somebody else says it? Well, we all know why, because I show the devastation, because I have that history as a commercial diver in both oceans, not just the Pacific. And I have a history on the ocean, period. I grew up on the ocean. And what we're showing you is an extinction event. And they're hiding it from you. And we are out here constantly going to battle to tell the story, to get this planet motivated to stop those reactors in Japan. We got to stop. We got to stop that. And lining up the homeless to go into, the paraphrase of this is they all die. Everybody dies, you see there, by going in there. And it's only the homeless and the destitute, the victims of society. It's not Harvard. It's not Yale. It's not Berkeley. It's not Stanford. It's not MIT. It's not Oxford. It's the destitute, the victims of society, the ones that have already suffered so much, have already been shunned because of their inability to cope with a world that is not meant for them. It's not meant for you. It's not meant for me. It's meant for a handful of idiots who think that when they get money, all of a sudden that they're powerful and that all of a sudden the rest of the world don't matter. The people don't matter. Well, they do matter in every context. When you look at how healthy that coastline was, and you look at the extinction event, when the puffins come ashore, they don't have that diversity to your left, yeah? See, that's the problem. The birds come ashore and there's no food. Right? When there was this smorgasbord over there, now there's just one algae. When there was this incredible diversity, now you would starve to death on that same beach. The urgency of what we're talking about, you can ignore it for a little bit, but 80 of the whales, the killer whales that are left, are all starving to death. All of them. They're all dying. All the whales are dying. Last year, 48. They had starved to death. 12 inches of blubber down to 4 inches when we found them dead. And everybody wants to yell out, climate change! But nobody knows what climate change means unless you're looking at James Hansen, who wrote a book and said, if we go over 350 parts, then the world is in trouble, and everybody freaked out ever since. And that's what we call climate change. 350 part, right? 350.org was based up on James Hansen's book, Climate Change. But nobody knows what climate change is. Oh, it's tin cans, pop bottles, and cardboard for me and you. And then for everybody else is whatever the government or a handful of what's known as climate scientists, who everything is bad and nuclear is the solution. But nuclear killed every animal in every study for 70 years. Like Gilmeddy's studies from Loveless Respiratory Research showed all the dogs died. 144, they were all dead within 5 years. Shows that curium works the exact same way. Curium is the biggest, it's a bone seeker. But we know many, many different types of study of how that works on the bodies of animals. There's no alluding to this. We know. It's definitive. There's no if, there's no buts, there's no maybes. Every animal in every study died. So you don't have to be a genius, because they were only fed once. Japan picked up 30 million bags. And they're burning it all over the country. It comes right over here. It washes down to the coastline. The models, the headlines, the links are in the blue at the bottom there. It's over to the original story. They didn't write the headline. That's the original numbers. We know the modeling showed the disposition immediately, the entire width of the Pacific Ocean. We got different models from different countries and different shows a plume already. Well, see, this model shows it. This model really shows it. What it shows is the entire northern hemisphere had airborne particles sustained. And so the first thing you're going to look at, if you were a scientist, is the microscopic and biological. So there's 1 million creatures in a glass of water. I'm sorry, 1 billion creatures in a glass of water. And 75 to 100 million of them are phytoplankton. And phytoplankton is the basis of the food chain, the oxygen chain, the carbon sequestering chain. The 3 biggest, most important parts of the food cycle and the oxygen cycle. And everybody's like living this little fantasy. But you can't escape it any longer. See, this is an extinction. The birds come ashore, there's nothing to eat. The birds never encountered anything like that before. When they come ashore, it's usually this smorgasbord. That's what made British Columbia famous. It's what made us so unique, so incredible. That Zodiac, that was me up in there. These are all from the same spot. These are all authentic before and after pictures of the same spot of Louise Narrows. And Louise Narrows is the top of the Queen Charlotte's hideaway. Is right there by the arrow. Hang on. Right there. Right there by arrow. That inlet, right on the back of that, my finger disappears. That little black dot, that's exactly where all those pictures came from. And so let there be no mistake that this is all up at the nuclear proctologist. It's free. You can take it and monitorize it and put it on the internet, because we know no one's going to go do this. It's all uploaded. Do you got any idea how much work that alone was? How many months that took altogether to pull off, just to upload all the pictures, let alone do the whole coastline, storm after storm, month after month. We had to know. We had to find out, was this real? And what you're seeing is a really accurate depiction. The pictures I took, and that's me in the picture, but I was actually there doing that. That's exactly what I'd done. Except now it's many little Danas that trying to drive that point home. Everything you're seeing there is what I had done there. That is what I'd done. Every day that I was able to get there, and this happened to be good weather you're looking at. Most of the pictures are not good weather. But look at the difference in the same spot. Is that why 500,000 birds died? Of course it is. Is that why the media is doing all the screaming about global warming when they know that Fukushima is the brute of all global warming. It's the monster of the end of this planet. It is the prophecy for the end of the planet in every sense. Because it doesn't matter if I fill that beach up, which I did, basically. I done the whole beach. And because as you copy yourself more and more, the colors degrade. It's just two algae. The pictures on the left, this stuff, that stuff. This is what you expect to find. Hang on, I got another way to tell you. I'm gonna have to fix that. Hang on. Almost ready. Here we go. So this is it's the GPS of where I was. That's Louise Narrows, the same pictures you're looking at. That's the track from my GPS. That's where I had anchored up. And that's the picture of you were just looking at me on the beach. And it's a small, well-known channel. These are iconic shots. And everything is missing. It's no longer this smorgasbord of life. It's really simple. It's not very hard to wrap your mind around. Everything is missing. And it's just a couple of algae, and you found one of them. That was literally all I found. And a couple of ducks, mallards. Just two of them. That's them right there on the beach. That beach is supposed to be incredible, unbelievable, inconceivable diversity, smorgasbord of just unbelievable. Instead, it's naked, like behind me, which are the pictures I took. Like, I'm not the bad person for going out and saying, hey, this is an issue, for caring. I'm not a bad person for saying you got to think about the words that we're talking about and the pictures that we're showing and this amount of time and energy and effort put into it to tell you that story. That's unequivocally fact. Like, you would get 76 of these leatherback starfish per square meter on that same beach. How is it that they're missing and that is not an issue? No one climate changed the shit out of that. No. Your paper towels or anything else? Okay. Let's come back over to that one. These are pictures, other pictures from the same spot. Found a nice pretty bird there. Get everything on the same page here. So we zoom in. And he'll starve to death. You can't pick at anything on that beach. It's not like it used to be, right? Not like it used to be where there was life everywhere. The bird would be fine. Just a couple of algae. These are low tide. Tide's coming down. Pretty low right there, obviously. This is an iconic spot, famous worldwide. We burned through a bunch of these. A couple of seagulls. And Zoe. There's nothing there for Zoe to chew on or eat or lick at. It's unbelievable that a place that was supposed to be one of the most notorious spots on the planet. Man, I'm having a hard time with this. It don't matter. Here we go. Yeah, that's what we wanted. And so, instead of finding amazing diversity, like behind me, there's nothing there. Just boring as all shit. As Zoe will tell you. We killed 2 of those GPSs. One of them is actually starting to work again, but the screen's screwed, but it still works a little bit, so handy again. These pictures are iconic pictures. This view, this visual. And the beach would normally be completely 100% loaded, like behind me. Just completely unbelievable. Unimaginable amount of food everywhere you looked. So when the birds came ashore, they found jack shit. They starved to death. 500,000 of them. Now half the puffins, which could be millions, they claim is dead. So we done the whole coastline. That's Canal Island coming up, starting here. And Canal Island is the most northerly point legally in Canada, almost. It's a couple of miles shy of it. Right by Alaska. So the Alaska border's just up by the GPS sign there. That's where the Alaska border starts. But that group of islands is right on the west coast. So you can drive straight across to Japan from there. And you find a scattered starfish. But this is amazing looking that this is naked. It really is. Like, that is friggin' naked. It seems surreal to someone like me who understands the ocean. It seems impossible that people can't tell the difference, but I get it. I get it. But think about that, how naked it is. The birds come ashore, and there's not even a full starfish to eat. How bad is it, you know? Well, that's a lie. There's full ones there. It's just me being a dork. You can find a couple of starfish. Just those two, they're the same family. They're brothers or sisters or cousins, first cousins or whatever. And green sea anemones. And you would find those green sea anemones. Let's scroll down a little bit. You find those green sea anemones throughout the coastline. This is an unusual picture. When it's normally a natural picture, and there's no adults there. It's all babies. This is a phenomenon we've seen throughout the whole coastline. Bring a better example of that. Hang on, Z. We're almost finished the stream. Here's a better example as we wind up. See those giant sea plume, sea anemones? They're 3 feet. And they would dominate every rock. Every freaking rock there would be also be covered with mussels too. Majority of them that are not taken up by stuff like that. And then you would never get the Zodiac close to the beach because it would be full of sea urchins. Right? You would never go near a beach, man, in a Zodiac. You do it in a kayak because it's hard bottom. But the sea urchins are notorious for shallow water as the tide goes down. But the whole coastline, every rock should look like that. At least some kind of version of that. And coming into shallow water is dangerous game with a Zodiac. See? Used to find the shells all over the beach. All the spines washed off them. Okay, let's wrap it up. Once again, coming in and bumping into something like that. Like, you know, shallow water, coming in, hitting, that's game over. You're freaking game over for your Zodiac. And a Zodiac is extremely hard. So, like, that would be considered stupid to come in with a Zodiac on this coastline normally, because every bit of the coastline would be like that. I came ashore everywhere. There was nowhere I didn't come ashore. Okay, let's call it a night, a day. It was a good stream. We're going to have to do a fundraiser. We're going to have to do a fundraiser this week, in a couple of days, to raise the rest of the money for the camera, so I can be a shithead and do stuff like this all day, every day, in a very high quality, and come out and bump into these people. Because if I don't, nobody will. If I didn't go out there and do it the way I done it, and everybody didn't support me, it would have never happened. We'd never know. And we put all of our faith in these people, and they sold us out. They were supposed to go do it, not us. And so we're not going anywhere. We're coming back each day hardcore. Bash these fuckers. Bash them good. No mercy for these freaks that have betrayed every species on this planet. Your legacy is a legacy of agony and misery and betrayal for the people in the academics, the medias. It's utter betrayal, and we're not going to forget about it anytime soon. We're not going to let you forget about it. We're not going to let your friends or your family or your loved ones forget what you've done. We're not going to turn our back on our responsibility. We're not going to bow down and lick anybody's boots. We're going to use our boots in the way they were meant to be used. Kick some nuke, puke, and ass. Full on hardcore, non-stop rock and roll, baby. I'm coming back every day. I'm going to nail the shit out of you for what you've done. And when you take me out, thousands will stand and go to battle. Hugs for everybody. Ellie, Lauren, Albert, everybody, Stacy, Elaine. Take care, folks.